here and 8 of 13 this year. Phew, what a bunch of numbers. But when you put them all together, it gives you the proper direction of this ball club. Tonight, Chad Billingsley trying to win his 13th, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Max Scherzer with a record of 8 and 8 will be on the mound for the D-backs. We'll get to the ball game, so pull up a chair and join us. We'll get to it right after this.
That's Manny. And Jim Thome. Indeed it is. Look at him. Thome greeting him at the plate, and then Thome going yard back in Cleveland. These guys, of course, will follow each other in the lineup. What a sight.
Just amazing hitters. It's kind of amazing when you think of how many home runs Jim Thome's hit. But he's played with a lot of guys that have hit home runs. Just the third team now with 2 guys with over 500 home runs, and Jim Thome's played on 2 of those.
Look at that.
River. And now he's right here with the Dodgers, getting ready to maybe pinch hit later on. You know, one of the more impressive things, we were looking up at all the home runs that he's hit, 564 of those home runs. He got Johan Santana 4 times.
And Clemens?
8 times. Took Clemens.
Nice.
I don't even think I had 8 hits my whole career. He took Clemens deep 8 times.
You did. Yeah, just over 8. I think this gives the Dodgers a bit of swagger right now, because now, you got Thome with the left-handed bat late in the game, and of course what Manny brings.
I think that's a great word for it too. I mean, this team walks on the field right now knowing they should win games, and there's no better feeling than that. When you lose a game, when you come off the field, you're looking around. The '86 Red Sox team that I played on was like that. If we lost, we looked around for someone to be hurting the next day. It was like someone's going to pay for this loss tonight.
Tons of vets, guys that know how to win. They've done it before. Want to see Chad Billingsley have a great outing tonight, not just for the Dodgers, but for Chad.
And for my mom.
Look at the right on Chad. All right, Vince Scully right after this.
Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by the Teriyaki $6 Burger with grilled pineapple back at Carl's Jr. And by Verizon, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Just before the game, we had pre-game ceremonies honoring the memory of Roberto Clemente, not only a great player, but also a magnificent human being who died while attempting to deliver supplies to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Well, today, Orlando Hudson was named the Dodgers nominee for the 2009 Roberto Clemente Award, and we congratulate him. Every team will have a nominee, and it is an honor to really be treasured in the memory of a human being whose memory is treasured. So Orlando Hudson will take the field with the rest of his mates as the Dodgers try to continue, knowing already that the San Francisco Giants behind Brad Penny shut out the Philadelphia Phillies 4-0. Penny went 8 innings, picked up the victory. Jeremy Affeldt wrapped it up for him in the 9th inning. As for the visiting Arizona Diamondbacks, 19 games back, so they're not concerned in anything except being a spoiler. Stephen Drew, Gerardo Parra, and Justin Upton, the top of the lineup. Then you have Mark Reynolds and Miguel Montero. Brandon Allen will be at first base. Alex Romero in center. Augie Ojeda back into the starting lineup at second base. And Max Scherzer on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, a 24-year-old right-hander, Chad Billingsley, with a record of 12-8. He's lost a season-high 2 straight for the second time, losing to the Cubs and losing in Cincinnati. He also lost back-to-back games back near the end of May. The last time he lost 3 in a row was last year, early, when he lost 4 in a row. Against the Diamondbacks, Chad is 7-4, and he is 2-2 against them here at Dodger Stadium. Importantly enough, the Dodgers are 16-11 in the games that he has started. And pitching here at Dodger Stadium against Arizona, his earned run average is 2. So the Dodgers lead with Billingsley in pursuit of his 13th win. And by the way, 8 of his 12 victories have been right here at Dodger Stadium. And he'll be facing Stephen Drew, Gerardo Parra, and Justin Upton. Stephen Drew, as we mentioned last night, has been struggling with the bat, but he has been a pretty good hitter with runners in scoring position. However, he drew blanks last night, and he's now hurting a little bit, hitting .260, 11 home runs with 56 runs batted in, but he is 0 for 9 in the last 3 games. Tomorrow night, the concluding game, and that will be Billy Buckner on the mound for Arizona, and most recently with Arizona, and now with the Dodgers, John Garland. But tonight's the night. Josephine, and Chad Billingsley is ready and deals, and the first one in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Gary Darling behind the plate, Todd Tashida, then Bruce Dreckman and Paul Emmel. Glad to see that Paul Emmel is okay after taking that pitch on the arm last night. Drew lifts a fly ball to left, moving to his right to get under it is Manny Ramirez, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 away. Good time to look at the Dodgers with the leather. Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier. Belliard at third. For Call, Hudson, and Loney fill out the infield, and Billingsley is handled by Russell Martin. So 1 away. The temperature at the start of the game exactly as last night, 84 degrees. Casey Blake gets a night off as Belliard takes over at third, and the batter is Gerardo Parra. So Parra checking in. He's been pretty hot of late. Left-hand hitter takes the strike, and the count 0-1. Last 6 games, he's 8 for 19. So Parra waiting. Overall batting average .288. And Billingsley comes back with a fastball off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gerardo Parra. Chad Billingsley trying to pick up his 13th, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball, a check swing, and the pitch is outside. 2-1 the count. No swings is Paul Emmel. Parra, an even 6, 195. Only 22 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Hit a home run in his first major league at bat early in July. Strokes one on the ground to Orlando Hudson, and Orlando throws him out. 2 down in the first inning, and Justin Upton coming up. Whenever you look at a lineup, you take a look at the number 3 hitter, and you figure he is the best hitter, the one who's going to make the most impact in the game. And Upton has found a place in the 3rd spot in the Arizona lineup. Since they put him in the 3rd slot, he's hitting .326. He's had 46 extra base hits. Slender right-hand batter. Justin takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Upton is only 22. He is 6'2", 200, and this is his 3rd year in the big leagues. Though he is a remarkable young player. The strike one pitch is swung on, lifted to right center, but it's slicing and comes to Andre Ethier, the room service fly ball. So the D-backs go out in order, 1, 2, 3, and at the end of half an inning, D-backs nothing, Dodgers coming up. Followed by Kemp, Loney, Belliard for Casey Blake at 3rd, the only change. Russell, Martin, Orlando Hudson, and Chad Billingsley. On the mound for Arizona is Max Scherzer, S-C-H-E-R-Z-E-R. He's from St. Louis, lives outside in Chesterfield, Missouri, and went to the University of Missouri. He's certainly big enough. He's 6'3", 215, and only 25 years old. The Scherzer ready to go to work against Rafael Furcal. Works from the 3rd base side of the rubber, and the right-hander's fastball is outside. It was back in the end of April in 2008 against Houston. Scherzer struck out 7 in 4 1/3 perfect innings as Furcal fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was the longest debut in modern Major League history by a pitcher who retired every batter he faced. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Running up to bunt is Furcal, and instead it goes all the way to the backstop for ball 2. 2-1. Scherzer has to improve, and improve dramatically. On the road especially. Rafael checking and waiting, and the 2-1 pitch, he has a look at a strike. 2-2. In the first 8 road games this year, Scherzer was averaging 6 innings, and he was making about 103 pitches. 2-2 pitch is called, strike 3, and down goes Rafael. So 1 away in the first inning, and Andre Ethier will be coming up. The last 5 road games that Max Scherzer has pitched, he has lasted average 4 2/3 innings. So Scherzer, in his third year with the D-backs, A.J. Hinch, the young manager, watching his young prodigy out on the mound. Andre Ethier, as you probably read or heard or perhaps even saw last night, big game, takes a strike and the count 0-1. He did go 0 for 3, but then he walked in the 7th inning to force over what turned out to be the winning run, and then he made a remarkable catch to deprive the D-backs of at least a tie and maybe a win on a ball hit last night by Brandon Allen. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Andre, hitting .281, 27 home runs, 88 runs batted in. Scherzer back and it's fouled away. 1-2 the count. Good changeup by Max. Scherzer was a number 1 pick back in '06. And when you are a number 1 pick in this day and age, you get a lot of money. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit down the left field line in the corner, and playing the ball as it just comes off the wall is Parra. And into second base with a double goes Andre Ethier. So Ethier doubles into the left field corner, just took a pitch down and away and hit it inside out. And the batter will be Manny Ramirez. So with 1 out, first inning, the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position. And here is Ramirez batting .306, 15 home runs, 49 runs batted in, trying to pick up Ethier. Manny last night 3 fly balls and a strikeout. Scherzer out of a stretch. A look back at Ethier. Now the pitch to Ramirez, and that's taken for a strike. And the count 0-1. We were talking about first round picks. Scherzer received $4.3 million in guaranteed money, but even bigger than that is a rookie that the Giants are going to bring up. Strike 1 pitch on the way, and Manny takes inside, and a 1 ball 1 strike count. The Giants are bringing up Buster Posey. He was a first round pick a year ago. He's a catcher. They gave him a bonus of over $6 million, and he's coming up to back up Benji Molina. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped in the air. Coming in from straightaway center is Alex Romero to make the catch, and Ethier nowhere to go. So Ramirez, a little fly ball to center, 2 down, and Matt Kemp coming up. Matt Kemp homered, had a bunt single, a stolen base, scored 2, knocked in 1, and was walked intentionally in the 7th inning last night. So Matt hitting .316, 23 home runs, 87 runs batted in. So Ethier at second with 2 out. And here's Kemp. No score, first inning. Out of a stretch goes Scherzer. A look back at Andre, and now the pitch to young Matt in for a strike, and the count 0-1. The book on Scherzer: fastball, slider, and a very good changeup. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Scherzer set and deals. Fastball swung on and missed. Down at the knees, inside part of the plate. 0-2 the count. Scherzer, when he first came up, had kind of a violent head jerk in his delivery. The strike 2 pitch now is high and inside, and Matt Kemp had to have a violent head jerk to get out of the way of a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Scherzer looks in, getting a sign. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way to Matt Kemp. Ethier at second with 2 out, and it's foul back. I think we mentioned it once before that Scherzer has heterochromia. And you said, what? Well, to get back in my neighborhood, what it means is his right eye is blue and his left eye is brown. So that ruins that song about the brown eyes making you blue. Take your pick with him. The 1-2 pitch to Matt Kemp is swung on, fly ball into left center. Very playable. Romero is there, and that's that. Dodgers waste a 1-out double by Andre Ethier, and as he walks off, in a colorful world, no score. Clayton Kershaw, and you would also see the big grinning face of Jim Thome. In fact, in the lower left-hand corner, you'd also see John Garland. So with the big home run hitters joined here with Thome and Manny Ramirez, the Dodger dugout filled to bursting and with optimism as we go to the second inning. But not to dull their optimism, but how about this? The Dodgers have split the first two games with the D-backs, despite the fact they are 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And now Billingsley going to work on Mark Reynolds, and Reynolds swings and misses 0-1. Mark Reynolds has 40 home runs, 90 RBIs, a .275 batting average, but that is not the player the Dodgers see. He is 0 for 9 in this series, having hit one ball out of the infield. He holds up on a pitch high. Against the Dodgers this year, Mark Reynolds is hitting .152. In his career at Dodger Stadium, .176. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Billingsley deals, swung on and missed. Fastball high. Doesn't really make any difference with Mark. If it's anywhere around the plate, he'll go after it. He has struck out 180 times. And of course, last year he struck out over 200 times. 1-2 to the right-hand hitting third baseman. Billingsley's pitch very high, but even Reynolds wouldn't go after that one. So 2-2 the count to Mark. He has certainly improved with the glove, and of course he has certainly improved with 40 home runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Billingsley ready. Chad comes back off the plate. Ball 3. Fastball that seemed to have a little cut to it. So 3-2 the count to Reynolds, who struck out 204 times last year while hitting 28 home runs and 97 runs batted in. The 3-2 pitch, would you believe? Reynolds swings and misses. Boy, has he had some series. Not exactly a showcase. That's 1 strikeout. He had 3 last night. That's 4. And he struck out only once in the first game. So he struck out 5 times in 2 games plus 1 at bat. So Reynolds makes the long walk back, walking by Kirk Gibson. And the hitter now is Miguel Montero. Montero has a 6-game hitting streak. Left-hand hitting catcher takes a strike. And the count 0-1. Montero has certainly been impressive. He's come a long way with that bat. He's hit in 17 of his last 19 and hitting .296. He tries to time an off-speed pitch and grounds out to Orlando Hudson. So 2 down in the second inning. And the batter will be Brandon Allen. Well, if you were with us last night, you'll remember Brandon Allen got into the game in a double switch, came up in the 8th inning with 2 out, and Rusty Ryle at first base. And Brandon looked like he was going to hit a 2-run home run to everybody but Andre Ethier. And the pitch to Brandon, little low, ball 1-0. What a shot, and if you have not seen it, we can show it to you on television. As Ethier crashing into the padded wall, just did catch it right at the top of the wall. We'll never know whether it would have gone over or hit the top and come back. The pitch now 2-0, but it was a dazzling catch by Andre Ethier. So Ethier last night, who has won so many games with his bat, made a huge contribution with his glove. Brandon had a tough first game here. They started him against Randy Wolf, and that was tough enough for him. He swings, hits one to Orlando Hudson. That ought to be that. He not only struck out a couple of times against Randy Wolf, and then they brought in Hung-Chi Kuo, and after 65-mile-an-hour curves, he was looking at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. The day, and by Mazda's summer drive-off event. Drive off with the best deals of the summer on a fun-to-drive Mazda. Bottom of the second inning, no score in the ball game. James Loney will start it off. He'll be followed by Rafael Belliard and then Russell Martin. Nick Schertz's first pitch is strike, and the count 0-1. James hitting .276. He has 9 home runs, all of them on the road. 75 runs batted in. Schertz right back inside with a fastball, and that evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Big Max 6'3", 215. Right hand is 1-1 pitch, and Loney lays off and pays a price for it, and the count 1-2. So Loney, who has been struggling of late with the bat, is 2 for 6 in the series. However, pulls up on a pitch outside, and that runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. For James, a very forgettable month of August. He hit only .222. The 2-2 pitch is properly lined into right field, right at Justin Upton. So Loney hit that thing right on the screws and right at Upton's nose. 1 away.
Number 3, Ronnie Belliard.
Ronnie Belliard, who made his first Dodger at bat a memorable one by hitting a home run. Belliard checking in now with 1 out, bottom of the second inning.
and no score. Belliard 1 for 5 as a Dodger, and he has a look at a strike, and the count 0-1. So Belliard followed by Russell Martin. Ronnie playing third. The other night he broke in at second base, swings at a pitch, a slider down and away. So Casey Blake, who's been out there working all the time, he's been in 125 games, and he gets a night off. Strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed. Down goes Belliard. That would be strikeout number 2 for Scherzer. And Russell Martin coming up. So Max Scherzer, they got a nickname when he was playing in Mobile. They called him Max a Million, referring to the bonus that he got. Pretty good name. Scherzer working on Russell Martin. 2 outs, second inning, no score. Now the first pitch to Martin is off the plate and low, ball 1. 1-0. Scherzer isn't a noodler. He stays right around the rubber. He just goes right back on a 1-0 pitch, and that's fouled back. Another good, easy fastball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, we sometimes make fun of the scouting report where they talk about how the ball comes out of the fella's hand so nicely or so well. I mean, of course it does, but there is a look that certain ones have. Fastball strike. Scherzer has it. It really boils down to giving the appearance of being effortlessly delivered. Max looks over the tips of his glove to get a sign from Montero, and the 1-2 pitch to Martin is fouled away off to the right out of play. Russell hitting .258 with 4 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Where Loney had a very quiet August, so did Russell Martin. The last 17 games in August, he hit .188. And that was a shock because July, he hit .317. Loney hit .311 in July, so they both went down the tubes in the month of August. 2-2 pitches inside. Now, of course, you figure fatigue got them, and now they have to fight their way back out of it for the crucial month of September. 3-2 the count to Russell Martin. Scherzer ready. Fastball hit up the middle behind second base on a stop, slot, and backhand effort. Ojeda throws out Martin, and the inning is over. Nice play by Little Augie. And at the end of 2, Dodgers nothing, D-backs nothing. Since 1989, and we wondered about his thoughts coming here and joining the Dodgers.
Well, I'm excited to be here. It's obviously there's a ton of tradition, and these guys have a tremendous ball club. So it's hopefully going to be a great time, and we can accomplish a lot here the next month and a half. The one thing I don't want to do is come in here but anything would help, you know. And they got a great club, ask questions, and kind of go off of them. They're the show.
Well, I'm sure between now and the end of the regular season, Jim Thome will be part of the show as he talks to Doug Minkiewicz in the Dodger dugout. Alex Romero leads off and fouls off the first pitch. So Billingsley has gotten a first pitch strike to 6 of the first 7 batters that he's faced. He has Romero, Ojeda, and then the pitcher, Scherzer. Chad ready, and the strike 1 pitch on the way is a fastball in the dirt, kicks away. 1-1 the count to Alex Romero, a man from Maracaibo in Venezuela. Romero appeared as a pinch hitter last night and struck out. Alex will be 26 in a couple of days. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and the left-hand hitter takes a strike, and they count 1-2. Romero was originally signed by the Minnesota Twins. Never made it with them. Came up briefly last year with the D-backs. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Romero takes inside and up, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. No score. Only in the 3rd inning. Chad ready now, and his 2-2 pitch on the way, and Alex swings, fouls it away off to the left out of play. So the newest Dodgers are here. Jim Thome arrived this afternoon from Chicago. John Garland is home in more ways than one, and we'll see John on the mound. We also see Minkiewicz and Padilla. Padilla with a very sore leg. Off-speed pitch is chopped to Orlando. Tricky hop, but he stays with it. Underhands it to Loney in time for the out. So we have 7 outs so far in the game and 4 assists for Orlando Hudson, who was honored before the game, in case you joined us late, as the Dodger nominee for the prestigious Roberto Clemente Award. And of course, Orlando does a lot of off-the-field work for charities, for inner-city kids, and he is indeed a good nominee to represent the Dodgers. Every team will vote on a nominee. So here's Augie Ojeda. He takes off the plate, ball 1. Ojeda made a wonderful play to take a base hit away from Russell Martin, and he's figured prominently in the series. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Augie, and he swings and hits it to straightaway center. Going back on the ball a little as Kemp reaches up to make the catch. So we have 2 down. Billingsley has retired 8 in a row. You know, you can join the Dodgers Sunday as they face the Padres. Give away the next Webkins pet of the season. The first 15,000 kids 14 and under walk home with a Lilkins Chihuahua, presented by Kaiser Permanente. And for tickets, visit Dodgers.com. Give us a call, 866-DODGERS. The pitch to Scherzer, in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Max has 8 hits, 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in, strikes out a third of the time. Right-hand batter, and a strike 1 pitch he holds up, and it's a strike, and an 0-2 count. So in the top of the 3rd, no score. We've had 1 hit, a double by Andre Ethier, but the Dodgers left him at second base. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Scherzer swings and misses, and that's the inning. It's the 2nd strikeout for Billingsley, and he's retired 9 in a row. And at the end of 2.5, no score. The Orlando Hudson, who plays with the verve and energy of a youngster, followed by Chad Billingsley and then Rafael Furcal. No score, third inning, and Hudson will begin the activity against Max Scherzer. Orlando Hudson 2 for 4, and since the All-Star break, he's hit a very solid .315 and has his average at .292. Scherzer delivers, fastball lifted to shallow left field. Coming up, a diving try and catch by Gerardo Parra. So the left fielder covering a lot of ground on that little fly ball, and a nice play for the out. The Parra lunging, caught it just before it hit the grass and held on to it. He closed that glove like the trap that it can be. And with one away, Chad Billingsley at the plate. Scherzer into the windup, flips that fastball in for a strike. Billingsley has 10 hits, including 2 doubles and a home run, 4 runs batted in, and he takes off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Max Scherzer and Chad Billingsley. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Billingsley looks at a strike. Scherzer certainly right on the money with his control. Max into the windup. Here he comes again, and it's fouled off. So as we mentioned at the start of the game, earlier on the road averaging 6, last 5 road games couldn't get out of the 5th inning. His 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball off the plate. 2-2. Throwing a very steady 92, 95. That last one was clocked at 96. And the 2-2 fastball is swung on and missed. So down goes Billingsley. That would be the 3rd strikeout for Scherzer. You know, Dodgertown has a home with its very own zip code, 90090. And in celebration, the Dodgers are offering up to $90,090 $9 seats, including games against the D-backs and the Padres. So visit Dodgers.com/eSavers. Enter the promo code WOLF43. Scherzer, who once struck out 11 in a game, working now on Furcal, who struck out in the 1st inning and takes a strike, and the count 0-1. This year, Scherzer has had back-to-back games where he struck out 10 in each game. Pitch to Rafael is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Back in September 7th of last year, he struck out 11 Dodgers. The pitch down and away, ball 2, 2-1. And in looking at his work so far this year, his strikeout to walk ratio is 3-1. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's very high. And now he suddenly came out of his delivery, where he had been throwing so effortless, easy. He staggered on that follow through. So they lose it, that elusive rhythm as a major league pitcher. The 3-1 pitch, and that's foul back, 3-2. Billingsley made 30 pitches in the first 3 innings. Scherzer made 32 pitches in the first 2 innings. And now 3-2 the count to Rafael Furcal. Fastball got him inside corner. Furcal strikes out a 2nd time. That's 4 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. And at the end of 3, thanks to Gerardo Parra's diving catch, no score. Tomei are 2 of 5 players with 500 or more home runs ever to play for the Dodgers. Who are the others? Well, we'll tell you about it in a little while. Manny and Tomei reunited. They were teammates at Cleveland. In fact, we understand that Manny emailed Tomei and said, when you come to California, will you have cornrows? And then Tomei lettered back, I haven't been on the farm since I was 16. Tomei's from Peoria, Illinois, where he was born, and he lives in Aurora, Ohio. All right, with that, we go to the 4th. No score. Drew, Parra, and Upton. Right. Both pitchers are doing very well getting that first pitch strike. Scherzer now has gotten it 8 of 10 batters, and Billingsley something like 7 out of 9. Foul ball bouncing over the dugout. 0-2. So Max Scherzer taking a little walk to cool off, get down into the runway between the dugout and the dressing room. It was 84 degrees when the game started, but if you're a pitcher or a catcher, it feels a lot warmer than that. 1-2. This is the 14th meeting between the two teams. Dodgers have won 8 of 13, winning 5 of 7 here. That's a little fly ball. Orlando and Rafael, and Orlando makes the catch. Dodgers, however, struggled over in Phoenix, and that'll be their next stop. This homestand ends Sunday with San Diego, and then they go over to Arizona for 3, and they've only split 6 in Phoenix. The next trip is Arizona and San Francisco, where, among other things, it looks like they will face former teammate Brad Penny. So here's Parra. Strike. Parra grounded out, made that nice diving catch on the ball hit by Hudson in the 3rd inning. 0-1. Fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Gerardo Parra from the Dominican. We mentioned earlier that Parra hit a home run in his first major league at bat in July of this year. He then became the 100th player to homer in his first at bat. Half swing foul, still 1-2. Parra played a lot of baseball. He was at Mobile last year. Then in the winter, he played in the Venezuelan Winter League, and he had about 250 at-bats. Way out in front of that curveball, however, and pays the price. 3rd strikeout for Chad Billingsley, who has now retired 11 in a row. Justin Upton flied to right field in the 1st inning. Justin 0 for 1. Upton and his brother BJ, 2 outstanding young players. I mean, Upton, with all that he's done, is just 22. Ball 1. He was 22 last week in August. They are the highest drafted brothers in baseball history. He was a 1st-round pick, and BJ was the 2nd pick. Off the plate. 2-0 the count. Two balls and no strikes. Do you remember the movie called Child's Play? I think it was kind of a scary movie. That's fouled now away. And there was an evil doll in the movie Child's Play. and the doll was called Chucky. Well, for whatever reason, Justin's dad put the nickname on him of Chucky. Don't tell me why. 2-1 the count. 2-2. I'll say one thing, he'll be an evil doll against a lot of pitchers in this league for a long, long time. 23 home runs, 72 runs batted in, hitting .314. His dad, by the way, was a baseball and football star at Norfolk State and is a referee. Little ground ball to Hudson. He seems to get them all tonight. So another ground ball to Hudson, another out, 12 in a row retired by Billingsley. And at the end of 3.5 innings, no score. Ramirez and Tomei, 2 of 5, who played for the Dodgers with 500 or more home runs. Well, the others are Frank Robinson, Gary Sheffield, and Eddie Murray. Ethier, slow ground ball to short. Drew tries to get him, but no chance. So Andre Ethier, little roller to the hole at short, and he's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Drew trying to make the play. Gave it a great effort, but Ethier down the line easily. So there are only 2 hits in the game, and Ethier has both of them, and we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now Ramirez, Kemp, and Loney coming up. Remember, the Dodgers are 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position in this series. 0-1 to Manny. Ramirez batting .305 with 15 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Ramirez 2 for 9 in the series. And a fly ball to straightaway center, not going anywhere but into Ramirez's glove. 1 away. So Manny's got his fly ball working. Last night he had 3 fly balls, 2 tonight. And it's a long series as he is now 2 for 10. And the batter will be Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp flied to center in the first inning, 0 for 1. Hitting .316, 23 home runs, 87 runs batted in. Ethier, standing at first, has stolen 6 out of 9. And a strike. Kemp homered in the first inning last night. He homered in the 6th inning the night before. He homered in the first inning against the Rockies. So he's got a string going. 0-2. Talking about a home run string, the Dodgers have homered in 8 straight games. Oh, 2. Ether at first, 1 out, no score, bottom of the 4th. Fastball, Kemp laid on it. 0-2. Scherzer thrown hard. He's been 95, 96. Max Scherzer has a younger brother who's a business economics major at the University of Missouri. Fastball away. And it was his younger brother who got him interested in baseball's deeper statistics. Among other things, he's found some detailed websites that chart and graph every pitch, and some that even detail the tendencies of each umpire's strike zone. Off speed, pulled to third, down to second for 1, turned by Ojeda in time. So Matt Kemp grounds into the double play, and the Dodgers come up empty despite the leadoff single. And so we head to the 5th, no score. .53 pitches and has gotten the first pitch strike to 11 of 13. Meanwhile, Billingsley has made only 44 pitches, and he's had a first pitch strike to 9 of 12. And into the 5th we go. Reynolds, Montero, and Allen. Foul back. So first pitch strike. Reynolds struck out in the 2nd inning, and he's really hurting now. He is 0 for 16. Hitting .274. And he's in a hole immediately. It's like he inherits a no ball 2 strike count. One and 2. On any level, but particularly on this level, the tops. You have 2 strikes on a hitter, you have a huge advantage. 1-2. You very rarely hear what I once heard from Branch Rickey, talking about the fact this fella is a good 2-strike hitter. But I remember he said that about Jackie Robinson. 2-2. Little ground ball to Orlando. Nobody wants to be a good 2-strike hitter. You just don't like to have 2 strikes. So he is now 0 for 17. And for Orlando, Hudson, he just keeps picking up the ball. Orlando has 6 assists and a putout already, with 1 out in the 5th inning. Miguel Montero, the batter, grounded to Hudson. It's like Orlando has a magnet over there. Right. Montero, 13 home runs, 50 runs batted in. And he probably hits it to the gap in left center. That will go to the wall. And Montero will be steaming into second base with a double. So he is now hit safely in 7 straight. And any thoughts of a no-hitter or a perfect game go down the drain. One of the interesting things about Montero, he's become a very, very good hitter on the road. I mean, you go back to June, he's been hitting .330. So Miguel Montero, a long double. He's just taken over the job behind the plate from Chris Snyder. And now Allen and Romero trying to get him home. Allen grounded out in the 2nd inning. And he unloads, and there's no way Ethy is going to catch that ball. That thing is halfway up the pavilion and right. And the D-backs jump out to a 2-0 lead on a Ryan Howard-like home run. And that's what they think about Brandon Allen. Boy, did he shell that thing. So for Brandon Allen, that would be his 2nd big league home run. He now has 7 runs batted in, and he really hammered that thing. Of course, he's big. He's 6'2", and he's at least 235 pounds. But he gave that a ride. So 2-0 D-backs. Ball 1 to Romero. Allen's first came against the Giants, so he is a equal tormentor to the San Francisco Cities. For Billingsley, that would be the 13th home run that he's allowed this year. 2-0. Bouncer up the middle. So interesting, there was Chad Billingsley sailing along. He had retired 13 in a row, and then boom, double by Montero, home run by Allen, single by Romero, and that'll bring up Augie Ojeda. D-backs lead the Dodgers 2-0. Augie Ojeda fly to center in the 3rd inning. Augie is 0 for 1. Ojeda in the series 3 for 5, had 3 hits in game 1. Pulls up on a strike, 0-1. When the season started, the Dodgers lost their first game with Arizona. Then they won 4 straight, lost 1, and won 2 more. But it would appear as if the fortunes of the D-backs have turned around. They've won 3 of the last 4 games against the Dodgers, trying to make it 4 out of 5. 1-1 to count to Augie Ojeda. By the way, we told you earlier that Brad Penny had shut out the Phillies 4-0 for San Francisco. The Rockies are beating the Mets now 5-2 in the 8th. That was a tough 2-2 tie, and then Jason Giambi came up as a pinch hitter with 1 out and the bases loaded and singled in 2. And in the bottom of the 8th, Yorvit Torrealba, the catcher, followed with a base hit to drive in a run. So it's 5-2 Rockies. Remember, at the start of the day, the Rockies trailed by 5.5 and the Giants by 6.5. And down goes Augie. That'd be the 4th strikeout for Chad Billingsley. And the batter, Max Scherzer, breaking ball, disposes of Augie. Scherzer struck out in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. So each pitcher has 4 strikeouts. We're in the 5th inning, 2-0 D-backs. 0-1 to Max. That's a strike. 0-2. In the dirt, nice save by Martin. 1-2 the count. 2 down, 5th inning. 2-0 Arizona. Two and two. The outfield shading Scherzer to right. Kemp shades him a little to right center, and Ethier comes up and plays shallow right field. Two balls and 2 strikes. Romero at first. 2 out. Fastball fouled away. Scherzer, as we mentioned last at bat, has 8 hits, 3 RBIs, strikes out 1/3 of the time, and struck out his first at bat. Off speed, fouled away. Max Scherzer was selected in the 1st round of 2006, but he didn't sign until just minutes before the deadline. In fact, in April he signed with the Independent League, and then finally in May of 07, just a couple of minutes before midnight, he signed the deal with Arizona for guaranteed money. So he really cut it close. 3-2 the count. They're not going to hold Romero. Alex goes, and there's a ground ball through into left field, and Romero, under a full head of steam, comes into 3rd base standing. So Max Scherzer comes up with his 9th hit, and Rick Honeycutt trying to help and be heading for the mound. One of the things that Chad Billingsley talked about, and it shows you what will happen in the big leagues. Chad said, let's say I'm trying to hit the inside corner, and he said, I will throw a pretty good pitch towards the infoul corner, and then for whatever reason it'll just drift right out across the middle of the plate, and that's got him talking to himself. So here he was, having retired 13 in a row. He had a perfect game, etc., etc. And then Montero doubled the left center. Then Allen really ripped one into the bleachers in right. Then Romero singled, and after Ojeda struck out on the curveball, Scherzer singled. So as Brandon Allen sits back very relaxed and comfortable, Scherzer, by the way, standing at first, had an 8-pitch at bat. That took something out of Billingsley. Chad now has made 23 pitches in the inning, and here's Stephen Drew. who has been tough with runners in scoring position, and the off-speed curveball for a strike. 0-1. Drew 0 for 2 tonight, and he is 0 for 7 in the series. Another thing, of course, with Billingsley, a lot of pressure on Martin with a runner at third. Remember, Chad Billingsley has 13 wild pitches. Down the line at third is Romero. Scherzer at first. Fastball, a high chopper in the hole. Tough play for call to second and throws it into right field. So the run is in. The runners will move up to second and third. Well, we knew it was a tough play just from where Furcal was, and thinking that he might be able to get Scherzer, he made the hurried off-balance throw, and it wound up going into right field. So scoring on the play is Romero. The throw was low and to the right, to the bare hand side of Orlando Hudson. So Raphael, trying desperately to get the out, and threw it away. He'll draw the error. It will be a base hit because really they had nowhere to play it. But then Furcal, being the competitor that he is, didn't want to quit on the play, thought he would get Scherzer and threw it away. And the batter now is Gerardo Parra. It is 3-0 D-backs. So for Billingsley, what looked like a beautiful evening has turned into a nightmare here in the 5th inning. Second and third, 2 out. Parra chasing what looked like a bad ball, curveball, 1-1. A double and a home run, a single, a 2-out single, and then the infield single and the error. So Scherzer at third, Drew at second, 2 out, 1 ball and 1 strike to Gerardo Parra. 1-2. Parra struck out on a curveball in the 4th inning, and Billingsley is after him with breaking balls and has him 1-2. Gerardo hitting .286, 5 home runs, 51 runs batted in. 2-2. So after the curveballs, Billingsley showcases a fastball away. Pitches are piling up now. Suddenly 30 pitches. He made 30 pitches in the first 3 innings. Bad ball, and instead it's hit slowly. Belliard can't make a play, and another run scores. So all of a sudden now it is 4-0 D-backs as Scherzer brings it home. And Gerardo Parra feeling very fortunate about things as Joe Torre sits and watches the game somewhat disintegrate. The runners at first and third. Scherzer scores 4 runs in the inning. So after pitching a perfecto for 13, it's now the other way around. 6 for 7. The only out was when Ojeda struck out, and then it started with Montero's double. And now the number 3 hitter, Justin Upton. And he goes first ball swinging. Orlando going out. Andre coming in. They go together, and Orlando makes the catch. Orlando goes all over the place. And one of the problems, if you're an outfielder, he never looks. I mean, he either runs out with his head down or keeps his eyes riveted on the ball. And it's 4-0 D-backs. 4-0 D-backs, bottom of the 5th. Orlando Hudson plays second base with reckless abandon. And watch now, on the pop fly, he first ran out with his head down, then looked up at the ball and never worried where the outfielder was. And it doesn't make any difference whether it's Andre Ethier or whether it's Matt Kemp. When Orlando goes out there, it's his ball, even though it isn't. Meanwhile, that'll do it for Loney. 1 pitch, 1 away. Talking about 1 pitch and 1 away, how about 1 pitch hit away? Remember, we were talking about all the first pitch strikes. It was 10 for 13 by Billingsley. And then Brandon Allen came up, and you guessed it, he was looking for that first pitch strike, and he hit a 2-run home run. So it is 4-0 Arizona. And with 1 away in the 5th, Rafael Belliard, who's related to Ronnie Belliard, and Ronnie takes a strike. Rafael is a cousin, played short for the Braves. I think he might be with Cleveland now. Looks like Belliard is pressing a little bit. Remember, he hit a home run in his first at bat, and it looks like he's swinging at almost anything around the plate. And he hits a fly ball to center. Waiting for it is Romero. So the 0-2 slider takes care of him. 2 down in the 5th inning. And the batter will be Russell Martin. So Max Scherzer not only is pitching well, he had that 8-pitch at bat, got a base hit, and scored a run. Martin robbed of a hit by Ojeda. Hits a drive to right, but not far out. And Upton goes back to get it. So a very easy inning for Max Scherzer. 1-2-3 with a limited number of pitches. And at the end of 5, 4-0 D-backs.
Playing the Chicago Cubs, and Manny Mota was called on to go up and pinch hit. Well, he went up and pinch hit all right and got a base hit for number 145 pinch hits. That broke the record held by Smokey Burgess, a left-hand hitter catcher. Later on, it was shattered by Lenny Harris, 212. Let's go back to this one.
Billingsley trying to get over the shock of the last inning. We're just sailing along. He was racked up for 4 runs. 4 runs and 6 hits. Mark Reynolds 0 for 2. And a little roller knocked down by Billingsley. He has to hurry and pulls Loney off the bag. So Billingsley unable to make a play. We'll see how they rule it. Got his glove on a slow roller right there, and then it fell out. Scampered after it, and he pulls Loney off. It'll be an error charged to Loney. So Reynolds is the base runner, and for the Dodgers, their second error. Now the batter, Miguel Montero, who began Billingsley's misery in the 5th inning with a double to left center. Ball 1. Montero hitting .297. 13 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Arizona enjoying the rare treat of a very good left-hand hitting catcher. Runner goes, and the throw is down there waiting for him. I'm not sure what Mark Reynolds was doing on that play, but he's a premier base stealer. It's stolen 22 out of 29, but he was way out of sync, and it looks like straight steal. I mean, he wasn't looking back at the hitter. Now, maybe Reynolds thought it was a hit and run play, but he was out easily. So Rafael gives him the ole. 3-0 the count to Montero. So Reynolds, who has had such a tough time getting on base, reaches on an error only to be thrown out easily. 3-0 to Montero. Yeah, the way he's been swinging, he had the feeling they green-light him. He's angry. I think he felt he missed a pitch he should have really handled. 3-1. Three and 2. 4-0 Arizona. We're in the 6th inning with 1 out. On deck, Brandon Allen. On the hands with a good fastball. Still 3-2. Miguel Montero from Caracas, Venezuela. Three and 2. Slap foul. Montero is really just starting out, even though this is his 4th year in the big leagues. He's only 26. He just figures to get better and better. And he slaps that foul. That's what good hitters can do. Somehow or other, you make a very good pitch. That was on the outside corner. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And he just put the bat on it, fouled it off. Down in the bullpen, Ramon Troncoso loosens up. Billingsley is due to bat second in the bottom of the 6th. And so Montero wins the battle and draws the walk. For Billingsley, that would be the first walk that he has allowed. But it's 4-0 in favor of Arizona. Now, remember, Brandon Allen hit the first pitch for a home run. Let's see what Billingsley does with him on the first pitch now. He had gotten into the habit of throwing a first pitch strike. Off speed and way away. 1 ball and no strikes. Big Brandon Allen. A lot of people think he's going to be something like a Ryan Howard, maybe, out of Conroe, Texas, and was originally drafted by the White Sox. That's a strike. We were talking earlier about all the money that Scherzer got, all the money that Posey, the young catcher the Giants gave him. For Brandon, bonus of $175,000. That's a strike. 1-2. One thing that Allen did was a commitment to nutrition and conditioning. Made him all the difference in his playing from 08 and now in 09. 1-2. Oh, he couldn't wait for a bad ball, slow curveball. Well, it's all part of the learning process. And down goes Allen. Pitch up there and way outside. 5 strikeouts for Billingsley. He wouldn't have hit that with a telephone pole. So the hitter is Alex Romero. Rounded out and single, came around, scored a run. Four runs, 6 hits for the D-backs, no runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. That's a strike. 0-1. Romero, a center fielder, not known for power, but he runs well. He's from Maracaibo in Venezuela. And he hits one down the left field line. Manny cruising over to pick it off, and that's it. So no runs, no hits. There was an error, a walk, and a man left. And at the end at 5½, 4-0 Arizona. Brandon Allen, worthy of taking a look. Like most left-hand hitters, he loves it down around the knees, and he hit it halfway up the pavilion. Worthy of the freeze cam. And for Brandon Allen, that was the beginning of the end for Chad Billingsley, because Chad is done for the night. You have Orlando Hudson with Juan Pierre on deck, and then Rafael Furcal. 4-0 D-backs in the 6th. The Giants have won. The Rockies have won. And that's going foul. 0-1. Scherzer has allowed 2 hits. Ethier has both of them. A double and a little roller to short. Fouled away. 0-2. Orlando hitting .292. Big year with the D-backs last year, as you know. 1-2 the count. Tomorrow night, Billy Buckner on the mound for Arizona, and the Dodgers will have John Garland. Well, jackknife to get out of the way of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dodger nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award, Orlando Hudson. Little roller to the right side, so Orlando, who's been so busy fielding ground balls, decides to hit one to the opposing second baseman, and we have 1 out. Juan Pierre will now be called back, and Doug Mankiewicz is going to come up and swing. So scratch Pierre. A chance for Mankiewicz, who has been on the DL. You remember his first hit for the Dodgers was a double, and he went into second base heads first and wrecked his shoulder. So Mankiewicz, big boy at 6'2", 205-pounder, born in Toledo, Ohio, lives in Fort Myers, Florida, was originally a 5th-round pick out of Florida State by the Minnesota Twins in '95, and he had a great career with the Twins. Then it was the Red Sox and the Mets and the Yankees and the Pirates, and finally the Dodgers. He had 5 at-bats. He was 2 for 5 when he wrecked his shoulder. So Chad Billingsley goes out in favor of Mankiewicz. Off speed, ball 1. And he promptly hits one over the glove of Augie Ojeda. And Mankiewicz comes off the bench and gets himself a little flare single. And he, of course, has to be thrilled. When he wrecked his shoulder that night, I mean, he felt like crying, and everybody in the ball club felt so badly for him. And then he had that long, painful rehab. And after all is said and done, he makes it up to the big club and gets a base hit first time back. And the batter will be Rafael Furcal. That's hit number 3 against Scherzer. Furcal has struck out twice, fouled away, 0-1. Rafael's average now at 254, so he's fighting it, especially left-handed. He's hitting about 242 or so as a left-hand hitter. 1-1 to Rafael. Furcal is playing in his 125th game and playing probably outside of catching more energy expended at shortstop than anywhere else. Ground ball down to second, backhanded by Ojeda. The feed to Drew, not in time. There was a moment's hesitation by Ojeda. I think the ball might have stuck in his glove, and that split second was the difference between a double play and a force play. So Augie made a good effort, but right here, then he stumbled, and by the time he hung it, that was the difference. That little stumble showed you how close things are in this game. So Furcal is aboard on a force play. The inning is still alive, and Andre Ethier is the hitter. Andre double to left and then single on a slow roller to short. Fastball for a strike. Furcal in his heyday, if you go back to 4 years ago, Rafael stole 46 bases. But of course the years take its toll, and Rafael has 6 stolen bases this year. And another strike to Ethier, and the count 0-2. Scherzer asking for time. He's going to throw that ball out. Oh, 0-2 to Andre. 2 for 2, hitting .284. Fastball, and that's gone the other way for a base hit. So Ethier just going what they give him and keeps going to the left side. And now Manny Ramirez coming up with 2 on, 2 out as the Dodgers try to get back into the game. for 10 in this series. He had 3 fly balls last night, 2 tonight. That's 5. And then, of course, he had the home run in game 1. So the stumble by Ojeda opens the door for the Dodgers. And a little fly ball, but coming in a hurry is Upton to pick it off. So Manny just hitting an easy fly ball to Upton. No runs, 2 hits. And at the end of 6, 4-0 D-backs. Speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Scott Elbert picks up the pitching duties with the Dodgers trailing 4-0. Augie Ojeda promptly turns to be a right-hand batter and flies out. So 1 pitch, 1 away in the 7th inning. So Elbert picking up for Billingsley, who went 6. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. Elbert with his high ERA trying to cut into that. And the batter is Scherzer, who struck out and then in the 5th inning had an 8-pitch at bat and singled to left field. That was followed by 2 more singles, and Scherzer eventually scored. So 4-0 D-backs in the 7th. That's a strike. 1-1 the count. Elbert from Missouri, the Show Me State. Very good football player. 6'1" and 210. He was a top running back in high school. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. Scott signed for a big bonus. He was a first-round pick 5 years ago. They say he's highly competitive with a football mentality. Whoops. He turned Scherzer around. Well, there's a guy in the Arizona dugout. I remember when he came to the Dodgers to play, they said the same thing. He plays with a football mentality. There he is, Kirk Gibson. Three and 1. And ball 4. So a base hit and a walk, and Scherzer on for the second time. And Stephen Drew, left-hand hitter, coming up.
Number 6, Stephen Drew.
Eldred's strikeout to walk ratio is very good. It was 4-1. Now he walks Scherzer. Ball 1. Stephen Drew flied to left, hopped to second, and then hit that slow roller to the hole at short. And that's when Furcal tried to make a play at second base. Couldn't do it and bounced one into right field. 2-0 the count to Stephen Drew. Drew 1 for 3 and 1 for 8. And now Rick Honeycutt said, wait a minute, I think I can help you. Dodgers are going to back him up in the bullpen, and James McDonald begins to warm up. Dodgers used 5 pitchers last night, 5 pitchers the game before, 5 pitches the last game against the Rockies, and now they have a 3rd pitcher warming up in the 7th inning. Max Scherzer talking to Lorenzo Bundy, who managed for the Dodgers in their AAA club in Las Vegas. Very nice man. 2-1 the count to Stephen Drew. 11 home runs, 57 runs batted in. And that knocks the mask right off Martin's face. You know, those foul balls that hit the mask, they eventually make its toll. You almost lead up to a concussion. Bam. I mean, he's tough, but you can take just so many of those. And ball 3. D-backs 4. They did all their damage at the expense of Chad Billingsley in the 5th inning. Three and 2. Check swing, and they're going to call it strike 3. The Stephen Drew goes down, 2 out. Gerardo Parra coming up. And he made a fine play on a ball hit by Orlando Hudson back in the 3rd inning. Do or die, and he won the moment. Wonderful play by the boy from the Dominican to bail out Max Scherzer. Now he's up there 1 for 3. Topped the ball and beat Belliard's throw back in the 5th inning. Good scrambling catch by Russell Martin, ball 1. Yeah, thinking of Mike Matheny, the catcher with the Cardinals and the Giants. And Mike was a tremendous defensive catcher. And he took so many foul balls in the mask that he started to get recurring headaches, and he had to quit. Couldn't play anymore. 2-0 the count. Ed Montague, the umpire, has had so many foul balls hit his mask that he has now been bedeviled by headaches. And the last we heard, Montague is going to have to give up umpiring. It's tough stuff back there. If you were watching last night's game, you saw Paul Emmel take one on the arm. It wasn't a foul ball. It was just a fastball that fooled the catcher, and it hit Paul right on the right arm. And you might see a slight bruise. See that kind of a roundish mark on that right arm? You're lucky it wasn't broken. 3-1. Ground ball hard to Loney. He'll take it to the bag, and that's it. So no runs, no hits, a walk. A man left. It was Scherzer. We're heading for the bottom of the 7th, but first, God bless America, and then take me out to the ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor America with the singing of God Bless America. Tonight, we welcome back, in honor of Army Night, Sergeant First Class Gigi Theocarides. Accompanying Gigi is Nancy B. on the Dodger Stadium organ. Good for a Super Lotto Plus ticket. Please join Nancy B. as we all say, take me out to the ball game. Hitting up the bottom of the 7th for the Dodgers, center fielder number 27, Matt Kemp.
Arizona leading the Dodgers 4-0, bottom of the 7th inning. Couple of notes on Max Scherzer to give you an idea of how well he has pitched through 6 innings. He's had only 2 3-ball counts, 14 of 16 first pitch strikes. Add another one. The Dodgers are 1 for 10 when hitting with 2 strikes on them, and that's not such an upset. 2-strike count, you're in a lot of trouble. 0-1 the count to Matt Kemp. Another note, the Dodgers, if they do get a man in scoring position, they are 1 for 16 in the series. 1-1. Fastball line to left, power right there. So Kemp hits it hard and lines out to left field. So the batter will be James Loney. Interesting that note that we gave you about Scherzer when the game started. On the road, His first 8 road games, he was averaging 6 innings. His last 5 road games, he couldn't get out of the 5th, and he's averaged a little more than 4 innings. Well, tonight, he has 1 out in the 7th, leading 4-0. And a strike. The difference between Ethier and Loney, each left-handed. Loney has pulled the ball twice and is 0 for 2. Ethier has gone the other way 3 times and is 3 for 3. But it could very well be the way they're pitching. Pitch Ethier away, so he goes to left field. Pitch Loney anywhere in the middle of the plate in, and he's going to try to pull it. Now, of course, having gone 0 for 2, and he has 2 strikes on him. And he pulls it. Foul ball. Still 0-2 the games. Ronnie Belliard waiting on deck. Loney 2 for 8 in the series. Down and away, ball 1. Threw a good changeup, and Loney wouldn't bite. And another change, and that's pulled to the right side. Well, that, of course, was a pullable pitch, but he gave him back-to-back changeups. One he ripped into the lower deck and right, foul, and the next one, little ground ball to second. So Scherzer's really pitching a gem. He has now walked the batter, and here's Belliard. Struck out and flied out. Ronnie 0 for 2. Fastball to the screen. Remember earlier in the last inning, Scherzer just threw a ball out of play, and I think he was cautioned by Gary Darling. That's a strike. Little slider. Because after the inning, Darling called him over, and I think he said, "Son, you let me throw the ball out, not you." 1-2 to Belliard, who doesn't have very good balance up there. It seems like he staggers in his swing. Of course, if he connects, he hit that home run. And he's a career .274 hitter. And Gary throws it out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball, and it's going to be hit into center, base hit. So Belliard, a 2-out single to center, will bring up Russell Martin. Dodgers really have had only 1 look at the game in the 6th inning. With 1 out and a runner on, Furcal hit a ground ball to Ojeda, and Ojeda stumbled. It was a double play ball, but when Ojeda stumbled, they lost the double play. It was only a force play. So Manny Ramirez came up with 2 on, 2 out, but he hit a little fly ball to right, and that was that. So Martin is 0 for 2. Ball 1. Fastball, and he's behind 2-0. Looking through the charts on Scherzer's work, looks like his high pitch count 118 in 6 2/3 innings against the Mets. Fastball popped up. It will be Upton. So the Dodgers get a 2-out single and leave him, and Max Scherzer walks off the mound at the end of 7, leading 4-0. night. The big first baseman came up, got a ball a little bit up and out over the plate, and Mayfield went up and took a possible home run away from him. Tonight he got a ball down just a hair, and there was no way to catch that unless you bought a ticket. So it is 4-0 D-backs. That was a 2-run home run by Big Brandon, his second in his young career. And now, in the 8th inning, James McDonald will be pitching to Justin Upton, Mark Reynolds, and Miguel Montero. Crowd getting a kick out of the kiss cam. And a strike to Upton. Justin is 0 for 3, flied to right, grounded to second, and popped up. McDonald was the losing pitcher in the 10th inning of the first game. That was a game where Upton doubled in the 10th. 0-2. Upton at one stage in this series, in game 1, had a single, a home run, and a double. And then the next night had a bunt single and a double, so he had 5 straight hits. Cooled off a little bit since. Last night, however, he had 3 hits, stolen base. Upton is 6 for 13 in the series. Overall batting average .313. 4-0 D-backs were in the 8th. Still 1-2. Upton has a 10-game hitting streak on the line, and he's 0 for 3 tonight. Since July the 20th, he's reached base safely, hit, walk, hit by pitch, 23 straight. But that could come to an end here. Of course, for Upton, he's going to have so many streaks, so many notable moments in his career. To think that he's only 22, and the fact that he's already a veteran, 3 years, 2.5. Ground ball to Furcall. One away. The batter will be Mark Reynolds. Reynolds coming up is 0 for 3 and is 0 for 18. Mark 40 home runs, 90 RBIs, batting .273. A little earlier this year, he had a 12-game hitting streak. A fellow who strikes out as much as Reynolds, who fails to make contact, seems a little rare to have a 12-game streak. That's a career high. 1 ball and 1 strike. .97-mile-an-hour fastball. McDonald with those long fingers can really spin that thing up to the plate. Fouled away. Reynolds had a very hot week the first week in August. He had .448 with 6 home runs and 10 runs batted in, and he was the National League Player of the Week. 2-2. One out in the 8th. Now back for the D-backs. Their last hit was in the 5th inning. Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, and Hinch, the skipper. making their own mental notes about Max Scherzer, I'm sure. 2-2. And a one-hopper by for call into left center. So Reynolds, who was 0 for 18, comes up with a base hit. Sigh of relief, I'm sure, from him. And the batter will be Miguel Montero. Hit number 1 off McDonald. Hit number 7 for the D-backs. Montero grounded out, doubled, and walked. D-backs are a changing ball club. It's in a state of flux. Nevertheless, when you check the players, you realize that they are the second youngest team in the major leagues. They're just behind Cleveland. So they're 19 games back, but they feel they are going in the right direction with the kids. Ball 1. Montero hitting .297, but it is no fluke. It is only consistency. Since the middle of June, Montero has led all big league catchers by hitting .330. 1-1. So talking about young players slowly coming of age, Montero certainly fulfills that definition. Came up in '06, but just in a couple of games. Then '07, he hit only .224. Last year, .255. And here he is, .297. Montero had to leave the club in the middle of March. His dad died unexpectedly in Venezuela, so he had to fly home. 1-1. 1-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the D-backs. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors by the Dodgers. For call, trying to force a play, and Chad Billingsley. One and 2. Reynolds at first with 1 out. Reynolds was thrown out trying to steal, remember, in the 6th inning. And he was running head down. It was a straight steal. He's a successful base stealer. Mark has stolen 22 out of 30. Two and 2. So a changeup that got away. You know, when you think about it, it's a lot easier to throw a fastball than to throw a changeup with the exact same delivery as the fastball. Two and 2. And got him. So McDonald takes care of Montero. He goes 1 for 3. And the batter will be Brandon Allen. Fastball, nothing fancy, just threw it by him. And of course, McDonald, who can throw as high as 97, is certainly capable of blowing the hitter away. Allen grounded out. Then after Billingsley was having so many first pitch strikes, he walked up looking for that first pitch and hit a huge home run. Last time up, he struck out. Now with 2 out, there is a definite chance that they might run Reynolds. Brandon Allen, the big kid out of Texas. Ball 1. Allen, as you can well imagine, at 6'2", 235, was an excellent linebacker in football, and he was an outfielder in high school heading to the University of Houston. Right. However, then he decided to play baseball. Instead of punishing ball carriers, he'd bruise some baseballs. 1-1. Off the plate, ball 2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, they'll have Hudson, then McDonald, and Furcal. Two balls and 1 strike. 2-2. James McDonald, the 3rd Dodger pitcher. Billingsley for 6, Elbert for 1, and now James here in the 8th. Two and 2. And down he goes. So McDonald strikes out 2, gives up a base hit and nothing else. And we're heading for the bottom of the 8th inning to see about Max Scherzer leading 4-0. Four to nothing Arizona. It's been that way since they scored all 4 in the 5th inning. And Max Scherzer has been brilliant. Ground ball, Ojeda. See you later. 1 down. Scherzer has had 20 of 25 first pitch strikes, so Orlando wasn't going to hang around. He went after that first pitch. Also, Scherzer, who has not walked anybody, has had only 2 3-ball counts. So he's pitched a gem with 1 out in the 8th inning. And the batter will be Juan Pierre, who was out on deck to bat for Billingsley. Then Doug Mankiewicz came up to hit instead of Pierre. Doug got a base hit, but the Dodgers failed to do much in the inning. So now Pierre finally makes it to home plate, batting .322. 2-0. Pierre is 1 for 1 in the pass on Scherzer, and he has the count his way now, 3-0. So this is only the 3rd 3-ball count that Max Scherzer has had. Right. Down in the Dodger bullpen, knuckleballer Charlie Hager begins to loosen up. 3-1. And ball 4. Daniel Sloreth, the left-hander, is up now in the bullpen. You know, not only pitching, but Church has been out on the bases twice as Schlereth gets ready. So Pierre at first and Rafael Furcal, the batter. Rafael hitting .254, struck out twice, hit into a force play that would have been a double play, except Augie Ojeda moving to his right stumbled, and that difference allowed Furcal to reach first, and then after the base hit by Ethier, up brought Manny Ramirez, and the crowd was really into it, but Manny, first ball swinging, hit a fly ball to right. A drag bunt. Scherzer can't get it. Collides with his second baseman Ojeda, and safely aboard is Rafael. So Pierre draws a walk with one out, and Stottlemyre heading for the mound following that drag bunt single by Furcal. And here's the collision with Ojeda. Actually, Augie, by twisting and turning, avoided the collision and just took a header. So Rafael, who normally pushes the ball towards shortstop, kind of a slap bunt, that time dragged it with him and has himself a base hit. Now remember, the Dodgers have Pierre at second, and they are 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position. So Ethier followed by Ramirez. Esmerling Vasquez, a right-handed, gets up in the 10, but they're going to allow Scherzer to pitch to Ethier. Now he has pitched Andre away, and each time Ethier has gone the other way. Double to left, single to the hole at short, single to left. Off speed for a strike. So for the Dodgers, this is their second real look at the game. 2 on, 1 out. Fastball pulled right at Allen. No further play. The first time that Ethier has pulled a ball tonight, and he stung it right at Brandon Allen. Now Manny Ramirez coming up. Ramirez, 3 fly balls. And the last time when he came up with 2 on in the 6th inning, he swung at the first pitch and just hit a lazy fly ball to shallow right. So Manny trying to stay above 300 now, batting .302. Pierre and Furcal out there on the lines with 2 out. Fastball fouled away. Manny in the past was 2 for 5 against Scherzer. So now he's 2 for 8. Big chant from the crowd. Let's go Dodgers. 0-1. One ball and 1 strike. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 out in the 8th inning. So Max still has some gas in the tank. One and 1. And a high fly ball down the right field line. Upton coming over in foul ground, can't make it. With Manny up there, Upton was way over into right center, so he ran that country mile you've heard so much about it. Couldn't quite get there in time. That close. Well, Manny is still up there with 2 on, 2 out. 1-2 the count. Montero out to talk to Scherzer. On deck, Matt Kemp, who is 0 for 3. Scherzer has done a great job on Ramirez, Kemp, and Loney. They are 0 for 9 amongst them. Fastball hit up the middle. Base hit. Pierre will score. Stopping at second is Furcal, and the D-backs lead 4-1. So the Dodgers finally get on the board, finally come up with a base hit with a runner in scoring position, and A.J. Hinch heading for the mound. And he'll go to the pen, and we'll assume he'll bring in Vasquez to face Matt Kemp, and then he has Schlereth down there if he need be to pitch to Loney. So for Max Scherzer, it was a tremendous effort. He goes out where he can only win or have nothing to do with it, but it was an evening he's got to be proud of, and we'll be back. And 2/3 and allowed 1 run, 1 walk, and that was to Pierre in the 8th inning. So now Matt Kemp will be facing Vasquez as Merlin Vasquez ready to go to work. Vasquez from the Dominican, 6'1" and maybe 170, and Kemp 0 for 3 at the plate. 2 out. Right. 0-1. Little slider up. Matt hitting .315. Homered in 4 straight. Fastball hit to left. Power goes back, and that's the inning. So Kemp goes 0 for 4. And the Dodgers wind up 1 run, 2 hits, lead 2, and at the end of 8, 4-1, Arizona. came up with 1, and they're $3 shy. Ethier, 3 for 4, going the other way for the 3 hits, jumped on 1 and lined out. So now in the 9th inning, it'll be Alex Romero, Augie Ojeda, and Vasquez against the knuckleballer Charlie Hager. So Charlie had the knuckleball working and won a game. Then the dancer, as Jim Gilliam called it, got away from him and he lost. Every time it's an adventure when you're a knuckleballer. So Romero grounded out, single fly to left facing Charlie. Hager's from Livonia, Michigan, and makes his home now in Plymouth, Michigan. Charlie will be 26 the middle of the month. And a strike. So after looking at fastballs from Billingsley, Elbert, and McDonald, they'll be looking at knucklers now. 1-1 to count. 4 runs, 7 hits for the D-backs, 1 run, 7 hits for the Dodgers, knowing all the while that both Colorado and San Francisco won, and especially the impressive part for San Francisco, Brad Penny, coming over from the Boston Red Sox, the former Dodger, went 8 innings and pitched a shutout and beat Philadelphia 4-0. It figures the way the schedule is that Penny will pitch twice against the Dodgers in the 6 remaining games with the Giants. And won't that be interesting? 3-2. Romero hitting .267, 1 home run, 17 runs batted in. I think Romero that time did what a lot of hitters do against a knuckleballer. Same way on a slow curveball. They'd like to run up in the box. Now with 2 strikes, don't think he can afford. Yeah, he shuffled up there and pays the price. So Romero strikes out. You know, Friday the Dodgers celebrate Military Appreciation Night with fireworks presented by Farmer John and an All-American My Town with unlimited food and a free Dodger Town USA t-shirt. Visit Dodgers.com/sit-in-my-town or call 866-DODGERS. 1 away. That means the last 3 hitters have struck out for Arizona. That would be Montero and Allen in the 8th, and now Romero in the 9th. Ojeda fly to center, struck out, fly to center again. Augie tried to wait and fouled it to the left. You probably know, but in case you don't know, Arizona lost their closer. Chad Qualls suffered a dislocated kneecap. Qualls had 24 saves. So Juan Gutierrez will fill his role as closer. That's the 2nd out, and Chad Tracy is now going to come up and bat for Vasquez. And there's Gutierrez. He's about ready when they need him. So Chad Tracy batting for Vasquez. Tracy started last night, played first base, went 0 for 2. Did not play in the first game. Talking about Chad Qualls and his dislocated kneecap. Chad Tracy would probably have had a wonderful career, better than he has, but bad knees really set him back. Chad Qualls, unable to play, is from Narbonne High School. Chad was born in Lomita and went to the University of Nevada, and they say he was a big Dodger fan when he was a kid. We will not be able to see him. Tough break. And we certainly wish him well. So Charlie working on Tracy. The dancer is all over the place. 2-2. Ball 3 squirting out of Martin's mitt. That's the knuckleball mitt. It's a little bit bigger. Red Osmus said that the knuckleball mitt looks like a baby produced with a catcher's mitt and a first baseman's mitt. And Tracy draws the walk. The last base hit. Reynolds in the 8th inning, and before that Parra in the 5th. But all the damage was done in the 5th inning when the D-backs scored 4 runs on 6 hits. A big blow, a 2-run home run by Brandon Allen. Stephen Drew, he is 1 for 4. In the dirt, another nice save by Martin. Chad Tracy with the bad knees, or as the old-time ball players used to say, he's got the bad wheels. If you had a quicker runner, it'd be a challenge for a knuckleball pitcher to hold him on. On deck, Gerardo Parra. Knuckleball hit in the air to Manny. And that'll be that. So down go the D-backs, and the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 9th. Loney, Belliard, Martin, 4-1, Arizona. Jim Tomei holding a bat in his hands. The Dodgers are due to send up Loney, Belliard, and Martin. Doug Mankiewicz with his arms folded front and center already appeared and had a base hit. So we'll see what happens as Juan Gutierrez comes in before a crowd of 45,076. The Dodgers are averaging 45,000 a game. Juan Gutierrez has been given the responsibility of picking up where Chad Qualls left off. Well, he has 2 saves. Big fella out of Venezuela, 6'2" and 210, originally signed by the Astros 9 years ago. Finally made it in 07, but just for a cup of coffee. So Gutierrez ready to pitch. And by the way, in talking about the D-backs losing their closer, the Rockies closer, Houston Street, has biceps tendonitis and is being shut down. That's a strike to Loney. Now Street has 33 saves in 34 chances. Said he might be out for a few days, but no longer than a week. But that's a bitter pill for the Rockies. Ground ball to Ojeda. And so Loney taps out, one away. Tomorrow night, John Garland will make his debut as a Dodger against his old club. That will really be an interesting assignment. Billy Buckner will be on the other side pitching for Arizona. So one away in the ninth, and here's Ronnie Belliard, struck out, fly to center, single to center, 1 for 3. Breaking ball up, ball 1. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Gutierrez, 26 years old. Basically, fastball, curve, slider, changeup. 1-1. Whoa, fastball, 2-1. And he hit 95 on the gun. Fastball fouled away. We told you that the D-backs are starting to turn things around. When Bob Melvin was there, they lost their first meeting, did the Dodgers, to Arizona. And then the Dodgers went on to win 4 in a row and 6 of 7. But lately, Arizona's won 3 out of 4 and trying to make it 4 out of 5 tonight. Look out here. It will be the catcher Montero. Probably a little help from a choir draped on the railing in front of the Arizona dugout. I mean, if he didn't get help to avoid the collision from all those fellows, he would never get help. So 2 down. Dodgers just spinning their wheels. There's no two ways about it. But they'll be going to bed tonight. 4.5 in front of Colorado, 5.5 in front of San Francisco. And here's Martin. Grounded out, twice flied to right. Hard ground ball, backhanded by Drew, sets, throws, get him, and that's that. Dodgers roll over in the ninth. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the D-backs. For the Dodgers, 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors. Scherzer is the winner.